What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite blue guy here. Today we're doing a reaction, something I haven't done in a few months now. The selection of the day is brought to you by tryhardpvp. If the name sounds familiar, yes, I did talk about him once before, specifically regarding YouTubers promoting cheating on servers. Well, maybe not directly condemning it would be better wording, but regardless. Yesterday, Tryhard released this video here, which I saw in my recommended, expressing frustration at the current state of what he deems Minecraft cancel culture. I'm not sure about the context and why this was made, but he talks specifically about people on Twitter bringing up creators using slurs in the past from years ago today, and why it frustrates him a lot. And right off the bat, I'm just gonna say Twitter is just a wild place. You all know my stance on it. It's literally the Wild West of social media. Anyone can say anything, and sometimes it's the most random, obscure things that go viral. So before I press play on this video, let me make my stance clear on the whole cancel culture topic. It's been a thing forever. It's not just unique to Minecraft, it's something everyone everywhere eventually has to deal with. People change, they grow, and they usually learn from their mistakes. If someone has genuinely grown and apologized for their past wrongs, it's important to allow them space to continue improving. Now, with that being said, some actions are undeniably wrong and should be called out, but the way it's sometimes done on platforms like Twitter isn't always constructive or even fair. I'll leave the full video linked in the description if you want the full context before. Pressing play now.
I've seen this a lot on Twitter where people would bring up mistakes of creators past, something they did in their past couple of years ago. Maybe they slurred, or maybe like, a minor situation, whatever, and they'd bring it on 5 years later. If that ever happened to me, where someone would try to cancel me for stuff that I did, years ago, but I changed as a person since then, and they genuinely try to cancel me for stuff like that, I would never apologize. I would actually tell everyone to go themselves, even if I got backlash, just for this one reason, because that gives them power over me. So anytime I make a mistake, they have that power over me.
So we got a lot to unpack here. Obviously, this is a very strong take from Tryhard, and while I can understand feeling this way, it's misguided IMO. When someone puts themselves out there as a guy that stands for this and that, and then something comes up that shows them as the complete opposite of how they wish to be perceived, even if it was from years ago, I think it's important for them to publicly acknowledge that they are not that guy anymore. Even if you've already acknowledged to yourself privately it wasn't okay, it at least helps to build that bridge of trust from the creator to the community. Now, I don't believe people can never move on from past mistakes, except in severe circumstances, but I think responding to that with F you guys, if it ever comes up, would be a really bad thing to do. Instead of coming away with said creator knowing it was bad and trying to do better, I would instead hear, well, it was okay when I said it because of gamer context, so why are you mad? Or something ridiculous like that, which...
This stuff back in the day meant nothing. People slurring. They don't understand it was used in gaming terms.
Oh, he does say that, doesn't he? Yeah. Not only does it come off as incredibly tasteless, but I wouldn't believe you learnt anything. Acknowledging past mistakes doesn't mean you're giving power to those that watch you. It's just about taking responsibility. It's about realizing you have at some point hurt someone, perpetuated a stereotype, or just said something bad, and you show your audience that.
That is something stupid that these creators like Dream and the Dream SMP people have done, right? People bring up their mistakes from the years ago, and they change into a better person now, right? But they still say sorry to their fan base when they bring it up. Oh, I'm so sorry for doing this in the past, I'll be better. When you're already better, probably you already learned from that. You don't do that stuff anymore, and you still apologize for it. What are you doing?
So as far as discernability goes, I don't think we give enough credit to those who watch us. Some go overboard, but for the most part, they understand we make mistakes and grow. Authenticity and accountability are what they want. Most audiences will respect and appreciate it if a creator publicly admits their mistake, apologizes, and takes genuine steps towards personal growth. You can see vulnerability, humanity, and a willingness to change in it. But getting defensive, dismissive, aggressive, or going the Tryhard way and telling them to F themselves when faced with valid criticism, however, raises eyebrows. It makes you wonder if they actually stand by what they said or did. There's a disconnect there. If you're a content creator, influencer, or whatever, it's not just about the content you make, but also about the principles you stand for. It's an opportunity to learn, grow, and set a positive precedent when you make a mistake.
It honestly pisses me off. I'm scared to slip up, make any jokes. I'm scared to do anything.
As far as being scared to make any jokes go, bros? Come on, man, that's baloney. It's common sense. It's not hard to be a decent and respectful person while telling jokes. If you're at the point where you actually feel that way, maybe it's time to take a step back and evaluate the quality and intent of your humor. If you're continuously offending people, bud, maybe it's not the audience that's the problem. Being funny doesn't correlate to stooping down and being hurtful. It's all about finding that balance and constantly evolving.
Right now, they're canceling. If you say the word if you said the word in your past, you're homophobic. Instantly labeled as homophobic, right? And you may have not used that word in that context.
Hot blue guy taken coming here, prepare yourselves. But I would think that defending your usage of that wordage when brought up or telling someone to F themselves would make perception lean, I don't know, more towards the belief that you're actually that, rather than just acknowledging it was wrong, ignoring future attempts to bring it up, and moving on. I know, crazy, I'll take no questions at this time. Now, I'll admit it does sound like I'm ragging on Tryhard a lot here, and there are several things in here that I think is ridiculous to say. But in the basic sense, I can see what he's trying to say. I just wish he didn't go with such an Andrew Tate-esque way of addressing it. There are a minute amount of people that are loud on Twitter that constantly look for ways to provoke by yelling about these situations, even after they've publicly apologized about it and move on from it. That is ridiculous. I can attest to that. Continually holding their past over their heads is counterproductive. And to be fair to Tryhard, he did acknowledge that if the situation in question is criminal, yes, it's important to bring attention to it. But Tryhard really sounds like he's trying to make a mountain out of a molehill here. In ending, sorry if I repeat myself here, but I think proper accountability is important, not just for him, but for everyone. Everybody can be a critic these days, so it's up to individuals, especially those with a lot of influence, to navigate the landscape with empathy, care, and responsibility. And at the same time, if someone's definitively acknowledged it and moved on, so should you. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.